Check out Shed Talk at the end of the live show, where Thunderbolt models discuss some latest craftsman kits from South Africa, buildings, houses, stations.
All right, Rinke, you're on. Greetings,
hello.
Rinke.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And cheers to everybody.
I see you're drinking some. Hold on. This is what you sent me.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that a local brewery in Johannesburg, or I've actually seen this before?
No, they are in. I'll tell you now where they are. Passion, liberation, independence. I think they're somewhere in the Cape.
So there's the other one.
But it's a nice lager. And it is flipping warm at the moment, about 32 degrees, so it goes down well.
Yeah, we've got 32 degrees minus 30, so we have about 2 at the moment.
Yeah, well, you want to live there, you know. Here I've got thunder in the background and I've got the generator on the other side because we got no power at the moment. You know, welcome to South Africa, but we can still drink decent beer.
No, definitely. So let me show you my South African thing first. Mine's better than yours. So
some biltong.
Yes, I made my first ever biltong. Let me play it again. There's my chamber I built.
Nice.
So that was my first ever biltong I tried, and it actually came out pretty decent. It has room for improvement. All right, so let's get on with the show. Today we have a very special guest. Now, I've heard from a lot of modelers, including from myself, why I cannot build a layout, and you hear every excuse. No space, no money, wife is terrible, my neighbor sucks, whatever. I can't build a model. Well, this guy, he doesn't let anything get in his way. So, hold on. Nothing stops him.
I'm a database administrator in IT. I've been blind since birth due to premature birth. I basically ran with my dad. He would guide me as a sighted guide. And I got the feel of running on a smooth tar road to begin with. And then as I got fitter, I basically became faster than him. I use a running strap that I hold on to next to the sighted running guide's wrist, and he or she would guide me. I tend to prefer running loose, where I follow the sound of my partner's footsteps. The hardest part for me as a blind runner is not actually running itself. It's finding a reliable sighted guide to run with me.
Nou weet ek hoe werk die masjien, dan kan ek sit en hom so. Ja. Dan ek kom maar so, hy's nie te swaar nie, so. Net om die weet te gee. Dan het ek net so.
Try? Please do. Although it is slightly challenging to find a sighted partner, because most sighted cyclists compete for themselves and are quite afraid to give the challenge a try. I've always been interested in trains since a kid, and I've collected model trains since I was small. Recently, I decided to challenge myself to building a model train layout, quite a challenge for a blind person. Starting with the structure, the lane of the track, the wiring for the digital control system and the lighting. to laying the ballast, which took a lot of patience to get those stones sieved and hammered to the correct scale. The buildings are built out of kits and the figures and all the extra detail I added and the grass. The landscaping I carved using a hobby knife, including the mountain, which is my image of what a mountain should look like. The trains themselves, the rolling stock and locomotives and the trees are built by local enthusiasts. I do the sound for the locomotives myself by recording the real thing, editing on the computer and uploading it to the loco, which has also now become a sideline business.
So let's welcome Cole into the mix. Good
Hi,
afternoon,
Carl.
sir.
How are you doing?
Hi, Rinke. How you doing?
Very, very well. That was a damn nice intro. Well done. Cheers to
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so much. And thanks, Craig, for picking those and editing that little clip for intro for me. Yeah, no, I feel honored to be on your show.
Well, I thought doing the edit as opposed to me trying to introduce you with my mouth was a much better way, because I cannot do justice to your own video that you made. When I saw your layout and trying to think that you built this layout being blind, man, it blows me away.
Well, pardon the pun, but the visual thing is far better than an audio thing.
Yeah,
In this
Thank
instance.
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you. Sound is everything.
Yeah.
One thing, I had a lot of video footage from Cole. I had to obviously edit it and shorten it. There is more to come. The biggest issue, what you'll see, Rinke, is amazing, is that he films the trains himself, but he obviously has to use knowing his layout in terms of where everything is, as well as following the sound. And I tell you, while his filming is not perfect, it's flipping good for someone
Yeah,
that
oh yeah,
that
absolutely.
cannot see. And Cole and I have chatted offline quite a bit, and it just amazes me that he knows where every train is, where every locomotive is parked, where every vehicle and every figure is. It's so, yeah. So let's start off, Cole. What made you get interested into model trains, real trains, that sort of stuff? When did it start?
It started as in my childhood days. I travelled by train 4 times a year from Johannesburg to Worcester, which is where the School for the Blind is located in South Africa. And yeah, initially my mom and dad used to fly me to Cape Town, and then they said, no, it's getting too expensive. So they put me on the good old Transkaroo. And so we had, I think it used to be a 26-hour trip. Those days, unfortunately, it was after the steam days, but I learned exactly which locomotives pulled the train from which station, where the switchovers were. And I actually, those days, even already started recording the sound of the locomotives on a portable tape recorder. You know,
Sure, that's quite amazing.
Yeah, and so I got to know the sound of the locomotives, and over time, I always dreamt as a kid, I dreamt of having my own space to do a layout, because at my parents' house, and only being home 4 times a year, I would set up a little oval on the carpet, and I would have an old lemur set, and it would run in circles. But I'm going to say quite a controversial thing here. As I grew the love for trains, a train without sound to me is like you guys hearing a train without seeing it. So sound became an integral part of the hobby for me.
Yeah,
Actually,
you're way advanced, actually.
Actually, 99% of all rail fans, one of the most important feature to them is the sound. I'm one of the 1% that I couldn't actually care about the sound in terms of the real locomotives or the model locomotives. But most fans are drawn by how a steam locomotive class 25 sounds, or a Garrett. To me, they all just sound the same and look the same. So
That's interesting to know.
Ay. You're boring, man. The steam sound is beautiful. It's live.
It is. It's a live machine. If you've ever, I've had the privilege of actually, I can't say too loud here, but I've had the privilege of actually driving one. And I've obviously many times been on the footplate next to one. I've even been under one, not unintentionally, but being around a real steam engine is just like being next to a living machine. And to try and replicate those exact sounds is always been my dream. I can just add, it's just bloody expensive to do it, but my collection has come over years, so I'm very, very fortunate or blessed to have it.
Is your sound all done with ESU, or do you use anyone else?
My first ever locomotive, which is a 15F replica, it was and is the only one that is not ESU. It was a soundtrack, so it's a bit more generic. But out of the selection there, I chose what the closest possible whistle and chuff sound. Then all my other locomotives, steam, diesel, and electric, are ESU, where I select the closest file and then I modify the sounds. And I'll actually tell you about my 6E1s if I do get a chance, how I did that, because that was probably a bit of a challenge. But yeah, I customize the sound files and I include the local whistles and even the Afrikaans radio chat and in some instances, the steam engine slipping sound, which I can release on pull away.
Well, the 6E1 is actually the only loco that I actually enjoy the sound of. The rest of every other loco is irrelevant to me, but the 6E1 with its whining, it's kind of like a Rinke whines a lot. It's very similar.
Craig, you need help. Do you get Electrolux vacuum cleaners there in Austria? Because maybe if you switch one of those on, you can imagine it's a 6E1.
Really?
They don't have vacuum cleaners in Austria.
Okay.
No, we have.
He uses a broom.
No, we have blonde Ukrainians that are refugees that come and clean our places now. They need work. So,
That's fair enough.
no. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play it's about a 5-minute video of the layout call. Rinke, if you want to ask any questions, I will pause the video and then we'll have to explain what we're looking at so that he can reply.
Okay, what I'm going to do is close doors because we've got a massive storm coming in.
Okay.
Oh, I missed those Johannesburg storms.
Yeah, this is one of those massive storms coming in now.
Oh, okay.
Let's start the video.
Okay.
Oh, that looks
So I just
beautiful. That is beautiful.
So I have
Thank
a
you.
question for you. How do you
Yeah.
make your how do you make your choices, your selections in what paints, textures, stones, whatever to use if you're blind? How do you do
Okay,
it?
very, very interesting question, Craig. Thank you. First of all, the ballasting of the track, that was quite a, I had an interesting interaction with a couple of my local sighted friends who aren't trained enthusiasts. So I said to them, I'm looking for stones that are easily, that are more or less that size, or something that I can grind and sift down. So one of my friends took me to a pet shop and I got cat litter, but then the cat litter was too light grey. Now, I can't see colours anymore, but I had a little bit of sight as a youngster, so I remember what colours look like. And I wanted something that is sort of dark, well, grey and brown and a mixture of. So that didn't work out, and I thought painting that and trying to dip it in brown paint is going to be a mission. So in the end, I got people to collect me stones from their gardens, grey and brown, and I crushed it up with a hammer. I put it through sieves, and then that was my ballast. Then I glued it down, and to help me glue it, when I laid the track on 3mm foam, all by feel and measuring it out with like a curved template and that, because some of my tracks are flexy. And then to get the ballast down was quite a mission. I had to take a ruler, put it at a 45-degree angle, and drop the stones in and along the track, and then drizzle a mixture of wood glue, water, and a little bit of sunlight soap over that and let it set. And then where it was a bit unneat, I would actually, once dry, file it. So it's all by touch. But when you drop the stuff, you've got to try and spread it evenly. So, it's quite a mission for a blind person to try and get the feel of drizzling something evenly along a route. And then the paints, I mean, my mountain also created quite a controversial issue with a hiking partner of mine. I do quite a lot of hiking walks in the mountains. And I approached one of my friends who's an avid mountaineer, and said to him, help me get the right colors for the mountain, just the general view, and then the rocks. And in the end, he made a bit of a mess up, and I ended up with like blue and turquoisey rocks. So in the end, I had to get one of my I've got a friend here who used to do model railroading. His dad's actually was and is currently a steam train driver again. And this friend told me I must paint my rocks yellow and then a coat of brown, and then he will come touch them up at the end to add a bit of black here and black there. The mountain and the general landscaping, I used a mixture of Tylon with a brownish tint. I asked the local art shop to give me the right colors, and I trusted them. Just to give the earth color, and then I obviously stick the sprinkled grass and the bushes and the rocks over it. The waterfall and dam, I don't know if that was shown in the video, because that was...
The waterfall is gonna come in the pictures. I have a few photos,
Okay.
and I have a photo of the waterfall. So
great, because that I added the end of 2022. That was I think I finished this layout early last year due to finances and stuff. So the water was another controversial thing. A friend of mine, I said, please, can you, I set all the resin and that, and I said, I need to try and imitate water, where it's shallow, a little bit brown showing through, where it's deep, it goes like a blue. Understand what colors should look like. So I sort of try to explain that, and where the waterfall is, it's got to have that white foam. So my friend helped me touch up with the colors. I got the colors, I painted the base color, and then he would come and touch up. So that's how I did. The most help I needed was getting the colors close to what people think is reality. So that was probably one of the most challenging part for me, is actually doing the colors. And also painting. If I paint a bit unevenly here and there, I need a friend to come and patch it up for me.
No? All right. Let me finish playing the video. There's a minute or two left, and then
Oh,
I'll bring
okay,
up the pictures, and
okay.
then we can look at those. Cole, I've just stopped the video at a where you've got some Warren Truss bridges. It looks like
Yes.
you have a duck under there. I assume that's a duck under as opposed to lifting it up.
I've designed it. I've actually built it. It's designed out of 2 kits to get the length. And what I've done is I've mounted it on a frame of 2 square tubes of about 10 by 10 millimeters for structural strength, screwed to a wooden plank on each end. And I've got 4 screws that hold it in place. So when I need to, which is not often because I live alone, when people need to move in and out the garage a lot, I can actually screw the 4 screws out, disconnect the wires. I've got 2 wires going to both tracks, which go into one connector block. So I can just disconnect the wires, the bridge, and I can actually put the bridge out of the way. So yeah, that's how I designed the bridge. So yeah, it's not a hinge type lift up, it's a total screw out version.
All right, but you can duck under it by the looks of it.
Yes, you can. My layout is built at about, I'm estimating 1.3 meters height, specifically for the reason that kids of a certain age that tend to fiddle a lot are usually won't be able to reach comfortably. Kids that can reach that height comfortably generally can understand, please don't touch. So a lot of kids come and look at my layout. If they're small, we actually let them stand on a chair in the middle so they can see, but they can't touch.
You would have the problem
Nice,
that if a kid moves anything, then you don't know where it is.
Yes, but that's the general rule in my house. I need to know where my TV's or amplifier's remote is, or where at least my kettle, or especially glasses. I've got a phobia of broken glass, so when people come, the one rule is please put your glass back in the zinc. So I've got to know exactly where everything is, because I build a mental map of my whole house's layout, and that includes the model trains. Now, I can imagine all the detail on the model trains. If you show me where's the horse with the rider with her hands in the air, I'll immediately be able to tell you where it is.
Jesus.
So you know every square centimeter of your layout.
Yes, Rinke, that's right. Except for on the odd occasion, most of my people, that are on the platforms and on the layouts that are standing around randomly, 1 or 2 of them have actually got COVID for some unknown reason. And there was once or twice where people came to have a look, and somehow with the variation in temperature, the glue I used has not been so effective. And then you'd find the guy flat on his back on the platform or somewhere on the layout. And then I wasn't aware of it because I don't do any inspection every day. So then somebody says, oh, there's a guy on his back on the platform. So, oh, there, he's got COVID. We'll quickly sort it out.
So you will know exactly when something is not in the right position.
Yes, yes, especially if I do an inspection, and I try at least once a week do a little bit of a cleanup and dust. I've got a portable vacuum cleaner, and I do a little bit of track cleaning and just a general check around, make sure that the cars are still parked straight, that most people are still alive, and that the trees haven't grown skew, because these things do happen. And then I run the trains once a week. Most times I run the trains not for my own pleasure, but to show other people, because you can't believe how many people heard about the layout and then they say, oh, my father-in-law is here, he wants to see your trains, or I want to bring my kids to see your trains. And I get a lot of pleasure out of it.
Oh, that's the best
And
way, isn't it?
looking at your trees, do you make any of those yourself as well?
No, unfortunately not. I've never really ventured into that. I have bought one or two kits that you stick the florage or whatever you call it to the wire frame.
Yeah.
But most of my trees come from a guy in Cape Town. If you want me to mention names, I can.
No. There's only one guy in Cape Town who makes nice trees.
Okay, great. Yes, it is him.
No, it's
absolutely stunning.
So I'll just finish the video there.
Yeah. So by sound, you can see what's coming past you as well.
Yes. I can hear that sounds like my...
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that's not a steam loco. Let me just spoil that for you.
It's a GM diesel.
Yeah.
One quick stop. If we're busy looking at your farmyard scene where the animals are drinking water and there's a climax, what do you call those things? The windmill.
Yeah, windmill, wind pump.
I'm looking at your grass. Explain to us how you did your grass.
Okay, that's probably very rough looking grass, and that was the intent. I don't have static grass at all. I was considering it, but at the stage the applicator was quite expensive and I wasn't sure how I would cope with it. I would probably applicate myself. So I bought it. It comes in a roll. It's like a net of grass and you actually spread it out. So it's not necessarily even, but it's like grass that's been grazed. And as you'll see, there's cows and horses and even sheep. And so the grass is meant to be felt grass. My mowed lawns are like A4 sheets you can buy, and I've tried different brands which you cut to shape and size, and then it stays mowed. It stays.
Yeah,
nice
the ones from Knock or from Faller. Yeah.
Yes, that's
no.
No, it's come out really nice. Your grass. It's
Yeah, it looks like wild grass in the Karoo. Yeah.
Yes, and the animals have got good grazing. That's all important.
Yeah, absolutely. I see a fat sheep here right in front of me.
Oh, good.
I haven't tried to make biltong yet with the lamb yet, so I'll have to give that a try.
No. Lamb goes straight on the braai.
Yes, exactly. Lamb chops, nothing better than...
Yeah, exactly. But now a question with all your electrics you've got. You're not thinking about catenary or fake catenary, just the masts?
I thought about that. I think it's very fine detail that. And I was also thinking it might be, on the main line, I'm always testing trains and that. It might actually get in my way of enjoying playing around with trains. But obviously it will look more realistic. So it's something I've been considering.
Even if it's just masts, yeah.
Okay, Master, that makes sense. The other thing is, if I raise the pantographs on some of my electric locomotives, they might not clear the bridge and the tunnel portal. So I have to also consider that.
Yeah, but the trick you do there, if you want to have them raised, just raise them to a certain height and super glue them in place. So they can't go too high and bump against anything.
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and you can also at the bridge, for example, you put like a feeder wire, which is higher, and then it goes down. If your pantographs are not glued, if your pantographs are free running, you have a feed like the real ones in a real tunnel. The wire is higher, and it gets lower and lower. All you do is create a small little section that automatically pushes the panto down. That's
okay. It shows you how observant I've been. I've never seen that on the real trains.
Yes,
I liked it. I liked it. I've never seen that. I liked it.
Yeah.
Well, the one joke that Cole had, and that's also because we always joke about my son Sheldon, who he also was very premature, and the doctor also told us that Sheldon's gonna not walk, his legs are gonna be broken, and his lungs are not gonna work. Cole was born premature, and that's why he was born blind. And one of the jokes that Cole said in one of the videos is that he was so eager to come to see the world, and he ended up seeing nothing. So
I like to joke about it.
Yet you're still enjoying it.
Yes. No, I've got no excuse. All my other senses work, so why not? I try and enjoy life. I run, hike, ride horse, drive trains when I have the opportunity, fly airplanes. You've got to do things like that. I've driven a few cars as well. On a public road once, but we won't tell anybody.
Yeah. Next time, tell me when you're on a public road in a car, and I will just move out of the way.
Don't worry, you up there, you're safe up. No, you're actually not safe up there. I think I've got a better chance than the tank.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fact. Fact.
all right, one more. And then we can... And I'm just ending off with the CMD wagon right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
I like the tarpaulin. I like the tarpaulin. That's nice.
I'll just show you how crazy this guy is. This is just a quick thing. There we go.
Oh, that.
Hold on, let's do it again. There's the crazy man there.
Wow.
I just very impressive, isn't it? Oh,
yeah,
Rinke.
kudos.
On a sideshow, while I was looking for material, I found something that I filmed, I think in 2015, when I was at one of the German shows. Hold on. Cole, sorry, I'm just going to play a quick, short few seconds videos for Rinke. Hold on.
No problem.
Jägermeister, here we go. I must get my Jägermeister going again.
But I think this one was HO scale. I think it was the Burkina model.
Ja, dat is een accu-triepwagen.
Burkina actually sold all of their railway tooling to one of the TT companies. I think Fisher Modelbau.
Oh, I've got some Grina N-Gauge Jägermeister actually.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's a very nice model. All right, so back to the final bit. Let me just find these quickly. No, not that one.
Photos or
Yeah, I just wanted to do a quick look at your photos.
okay, did out okay because I sent you a whole ton of them.
Yeah, no, the one or two were a little bit skew, but on the whole, they were fine.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, so we're just looking at a general shot of I don't know where your water tower is, and there's a guy standing on the top of the water tower.
Yes.
And I see you've used a lot of concrete sleeper track, which is quite nice.
It varies. It's what I had available. A lot of my tracks second-hand, funny enough.
So I like concrete. Not many people use it for whatever reason. So so the next photo is a little loco servicing depot where you've got some pits for servicing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was actually given to me and built by a guy here in George who's now doing locomotives.
I think there's a 14E parked inside as well as a tanker
had it
wagon.
running in one of my videos.
Good at the end of the
you
video.
got some videos from the good old past, it sounds like it.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a picture of your farm scene with animals grazing and the water and
windmill and a little dead pond.
Right, I'm on the next photo and it's showing your waterfall that you built and the water scene.
Okay. Can you see the guys fishing off the rocks?
No, I can't, but I can see people in a cabrio.
Oh, okay. So my focus wasn't so good.
No, there is a guy standing there at the end of the water. One guy, he could be fishing.
Yeah, I think if I give you a closer one some other time, I've glued, I think there's 3 guys holding fishing rods from different angles. And then there's people sitting on a bench.
Oh, I can actually, Rinke, I mean, you might not on the cell phone, but there's a guy sitting on the rock with a fishing line. There's a guy standing in the water, and then there's a third guy to the right. He's standing on a rock. So
I see him. Yeah.
Oh, you can actually see him. Okay, cool.
I quite like the effect that you did of the water coming down on the actual waterfall itself. That worked quite well.
Yeah. We took the resin.
That looks nice.
And my friend gave me the idea and he let me dry it in little strips. And then I sort of lightly glued the strips together and then hung it down and then just glued the tip on top and the tip at the bottom at sort of an angle that water would probably fall. So it's not the perfect angle, but yeah, the water is falling. So hopefully, and then it goes into a nice dam that goes deeper to the back. Because I've often swum, I don't know if you saw, I actually swam this past Sunday in a pool and I jumped off a waterfall, nearly hit my head on a rock. So I should
Hey. You better be careful.
I did see that. I had contemplated using it today, but then I thought no. Another quick farm scene. Let's go to the next one. Another one is just a general scene. I included this one because there's a visitor there to South Africa. It's all the way from
ice
Germany.
cream. Yeah, ice one.
The ice.
Oh, so yeah, try to exclude that because you said you wanted South African, but my lovely ice will be there. It's white and it's...
Well, it's actually my favorite. It's my favorite German train, so I do like exceptions. And you have
it actually attracts kids because you run the South African trains and I run them prototypical speeds, and some of my trains run at current prototypical speeds, like 50 k's an hour because of poor track maintenance.
Some of them are running at like 20 at the moment. So
yeah.
Like the Transcaro is not running at all.
That's true. And then I the ice train, which runs at a prototypical or scale speed of about 320. I've timed it. And the kids love it because, yeah, the thing moves.
Mm.
Oops. Oh, I just did a picture of your Warren Truss
Yep.
Bridge where
Yep.
where you have a walk under.
Yeah, you
Oh,
duck
yes.
under. Yeah.
The duck
Yeah,
under,
there's
and then
actually, I don't know if it shows, but there's actually a Sky Electric or a slot car track underneath the whole layout. It's just
no,
not my nephew's old set, and I occasionally, when friends come and if they have kids, we love racing. That's just I race by sound, so that's just another little interest on the side is racing slot cars.
So the next photo is of a Greyhound bus in the
Ah, yes,
countryside.
I've had that for years.
It's a nice bus model, huh? Yo.
Yeah, I've had it for a long time.
Burkina did a number of Greyhound buses. I'm just trying to think who else did.
I don't know what model that is, though, who made it.
It might have also been Oxford.
Could be.
Burkina also did some. Just again of your local maintenance depot and a picture of your water tower with the Drakensberg Express parked in
Yes,
front of it.
two green coaches I have. Yeah, and that's been coupled to a 16E steam locomotive.
And then just a general picture of your Class 35 and a car carrier. And,
that's near the very tall quad layer parking lot building with like a station at the bottom.
And then we just got a general view of it's a long picture. There's the window in the background. You can see.
Yes.
It's at the station. It's the station.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's it for the photos.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do this video quickly, and then that should be it from
U26C variant, which in South Africa is classified as the 34 class. This is the 500 version. This is built by Rinke van der Westhuizen, mostly hand built, some 3D printed parts, and a lot of attention and detail. So I'm not too sure how long this video takes to focus. There's the cab. There's a lot of detail inside the cab. Yeah, let's have a view from the front. All the detail, the vacuum pipes, and all the other plumbing, and all the little details. Not too sure if this will focus into the cab. 500 series had the aircon unit on top and all the piping detail. And then we have engine compartment with the 7FDL12 GE V12 turbocharged diesel engine. I hope this is all focusing in correctly. Very nice detail. All the detail along the loco, including your underside, well, as much as we can get of the underside on the bogies, with all the air brake plumbing and vacuum tubing and tanks, air tanks and stuff, including the fuel tank, with all the little details. More bogie or truck detail underneath, and steps. And at the rear, have all the little details at the rear. All your grids. We're going to try and get in from the other side. Your engine compartment detail again. Yeah, really amazing work. Let's try and get in that side from the cab. You might be able to see the driver, maybe from that angle. And yeah, all the detail. Let's do some grids on top, and all the little bits and pieces on top. Yeah, so this model runs. I'll do some driving parts on the video. The cab lights come on, the engine room lights come on, headlights, rear lights, marker lights, full sound, and some smoke. So enjoy.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
that
taking the
was
hobby to a whole new level.
Yeah, large scale stuff. It's something else.
Rinke. I don't want to
Yeah,
be
it's
funny,
beautiful.
but I actually think he films a loco better than what Rickus films his locos. The way he did the
On his
effects there.
videos, yeah.
I'm saying, I'm saying
Makes
the,
enough noise.
the
If I don't hear it, I'm deaf because that thing's loud. So I can hear precisely what it's doing.
no, it's really well filmed. You're focusing. Thank goodness for technology. It
Yeah,
worked really well.
thank you.
Very,
Yeah,
very nice.
nothing wrong with it. Now, what do you
Um,
enjoy more? Your HO or your garden train?
Rinke, the problem is with the garden rail is, first of all, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Secondly, I am not really allowed to have something permanent. I live in a complex, and
Hmm.
already the grumpies complain when I run the diesel because I turn it up and it's loud. If you blow that horn,
Yeah.
it's like the real one.
Yeah.
The sound on here doesn't do it justice. It's got quite a powerful speaker in there, and to me, sound is everything. So I basically bought it. I bought the few G scale items I own basically for the odd
times I want to run it on just out on the grass in the garden, especially if we're having a braai. And for investment purposes, because I believe it's going to hold or increase its value, especially if I go sell it overseas. And just having the big loco, I would love a Garrett or a 25 class steam, but I don't think, unless I really get a high paying job, that diesel, that 34 class is a machine. I love it.
Yeah, it's stunning. Absolutely.
Yes, thank you. But I think for running trains, I think I enjoy my HO because I can run long trains. That's how I designed my layout. I can run. My Iron Ore train, for example, has 30 wagons. My Trans-Karoo has 16 wagons. I made my sidings long for that reason. And on my YouTube channel, I'd like to refer people to my YouTube channel at one stage. I've run my record length trains. I think I've run a 63 wagon freight train. And I can't remember what my passenger train was, but it was my Trans-Karoo combined with Rovers, combined with my Cirrus Rail or the Shosholoza Mail I used to have. So I've run very long trains on my HO layout. So I enjoy that, but nothing beats the sound of the G scale because of the larger speakers and sound systems you can.
Absolutely.
I will put into the final edits of the video, and also in the show notes itself, I will put a link to your YouTube channel so that other people can see it.
Great,
so,
yeah, because I do a lot of updated videos on the trains, and any progress or any change. And I heard you included one of the videos where I had a double header steam locomotive.
Yes,
that was quite a thing to do because I use a handheld controller, but for the double header, it's easier for me to program it on the iPhone and run them off the phone, because you've got to digitally match them up and then run them together. So that was quite a challenge, but I do briefly in one of my videos show how I actually program and operate the trains from the iPhone with the voice, the text-to-speech software I use.
Yeah, that's good to share.
Your YouTube video has a lot of information. Unfortunately, I could only do snippets.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Edit. But it's a channel worth visiting. As I said, I'll put it in the show notes.
Thanks so much. It's not professional, but it's intended just to be informal and motivational.
Oh, you don't have to worry. This show is not professional either. So.
Hey! I'm flipping very professional. There you go.
I see what you're drinking, Rinke. I see what you're drinking. It's good.
Last time we had so many delays from the Austrian side that by the time the show got started, Rinke had already been to the bottle store about 3 times. So
that's not bad. Yeah. One of those things.
Cole, I just want to thank you for being on the show. I know you need to leave soon. So, as I discussed with you earlier, what we do is let's film this next part very quickly where you get up and walk with your telephone.
It's quite weathered. Purposely done, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, we got our lovely old diesel, the noisemaker. I need to actually run it again and get the grumpies going. If I lower it, I'm going to have to go a bit closer because we've got a couch.
See it because there's a DZ.
There's a DZ, very much like yours, but this has got coal. And then on the left is just Bachmann, whatever, passenger coach. That I got long ago, before I even started G-Scale. And then right at the bottom, I don't know, the angle will be wrong, is a radio control Volvo truck. For what
it's a truck and trailer, yeah.
Yeah. That my brother and I sort of built together, and should I start the industrial side?
Yeah, and then just do a 360. The angle's fine, don't worry about it. Do a 360 slowly.
Okay, station and all the sidelines with little sheds, trains, enough trains. We're going around past the station. In that far corner is like an old church and backdrops. and the big 3-track thingy, maintenance shed. In the corner there of the S, there's 2 South African houses with another house on the hill, and we go slowly along the mountain, the pass going up with the little cars with lights. If I raise it a bit, you might see the waterfall on the corner of the pass at the top. Mountain with the SAA aircraft crashed. Coming down the pass, cyclists and more cars. Old station converted into a restaurant. And farmland starting with trees, a little branch line with a diesel locomotive 35 GE, and there's a CMD wagon on there, of course, and trees. And we're going to go the bridge, and we go around, more farmland in the corner, sheep, cows, horses, might be a bit far to see. And then the thin side where the garage door is just basically grass and track. And back into that corner, houses on the furthest corner, and a massive, a last minute change. I had to put this big building in, and I had to make space for it. A 4-level garage with a station at the bottom and quite a collection of HO cars in there. And then we go back around, and we back sort of along the station and all that. Did that come out okay?
Yeah. Rinke, I've brought you back in, so if you need to.
Yeah, I had to close some doors because now the rain, and now we get stage 3 load shedding again. You know, it just doesn't stop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Should I open the garage door and see if there's any more light on the subject? Or?
No, it's nice.
No, it's worked.
Okay.
What was nice about you doing the 360, it gave us a good overview on actually what the layout looks like. It's quite complicated.
Yeah.
You don't
Yes,
realize that it's got little intricacies going around bends and corners, and
yeah.
your room is not exactly square. You have that one.
You see, there where the washing machine and desk is underneath the layout, that's the longer side because it's got a gap. So that's why I made my station the long side, so I can have longer sidings, so I can have relatively long trains parked and long trains running. And then it goes through a S-bend, through the corner tunnel. And then, then this side is obviously a bit shorter, where it goes, and it goes around the bridge, and so it goes around. So, it's very level, but it's made for long trains.
What I like, you obviously can run it with the garage door open as well.
Yes.
Which is also quite nice, as long as the sun is not obviously shining directly on.
I try and avoid too much sun when it's open. And the other thing, it's a parameter layout, so you can store things underneath. You can store washing machines, push lawnmowers, shelves, inverter.
It's brilliantly built. Hats off to you. You've done a magnificent job.
Thank you.
I'm glad you did this 360 because it actually gives us, Rinke and myself, a good oversight.
Yeah.
Okay,
now you can see properly how big it is.
Yes.
And what can be done in the garage. Yeah.
Yes, a normal single garage. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's the advantage. You don't have a car, you see, so you can stick a nice layout in there.
Yeah. Let me get back in the picture and stand here by my mountain. So no, I'm very lucky to have this space, and it's really attracted a lot of people, I must say.
Cheers to you. Well done. Well done.
You've been a brilliant guest, and as I said to you, sometime in the future, 1 or 2 years down the road, it would be good if you got a little diorama by 1 meter, or whatever.
Okay.
And you actually did some filming over a few weeks or a few months, whatever, and just show us how you do scenery and some ballasting and stuff. Because trust me, there would be a lot of people interested to see how somebody who's blind does it.
No problem.
Never mind who's blind. Most people don't know how to ballast, so you can show them a thing or two.
Okay, it's quite a tough challenge, but we did it. And like I say, the mountain, I don't know if the mountain looks like a mountain, but that is 15 layers of polystyrene carved up by hand and by feel. So, and my trains are just greeting you.
Aha!
All right, Cole, it's actually hop past, so you better go. You have an appointment. So
Yeah, I've just got to
Um,
basically get ready. There's no rush. But yeah, I'd like people to check out my YouTube channel. There's quite a lot of train info on there, and you can ask questions on the YouTube channel or hook up with me. I'm on Facebook, TikTok. I'm busy doing a blindness awareness thing, so I'm not. I've put my trains on there a bit, but it's more talking. But yeah, no, anybody's welcome to ask questions. And whenever somebody's in George and you're a real train fanatic, or you have family who's a train fanatic, please contact me and pop in.
That will do. Next time I'm down there, I come. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, sure. Yeah, we need to get together, Rinke. We have a bra and some good beer.
Yeah, I didn't have time last time when I was working in Nijsna on the layout. I just didn't have time to do anything whatsoever. But you were on my list. Yeah.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. And
yeah, thanks for your time. And
Hey, thanks for your insight. Yay!
the train, that was just the 15CA giving you all a goodbye toot. And yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Cheers and goodbye.
Thanks,
Cheers,
guys.
man.
Cheers, Goodbye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, Cole.
Bye.
All right, so next up is a video from Rinke. I'll let you do the talking.
Okay, this is a standard South African grain silo, as you would see all over the country next to the railway lines. It's based on a real one, and there you see some close-ups. You will see one with a wagon in just now. HO kit, and now a proper CMD wagon in there. Yes, on 12 mil, of course. But for all those guys who run 16.5, you can put a 16.5 piece of track in there as well. No problem whatsoever.
It looks
detail.
it looks very similar to the Costa one. You know the Costa?
Costa. This one is based on the one in the Val, VAL. Okay. But Costa one is very similar. Yeah, there are a lot of these things. I assume minor bits and pieces changed, but they were found all over. It shouldn't be missing on any proper South African layout. If you got the space to do a siding or two, you should have a grain one on there.
Sure, it's a beautiful model.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah. Once again, totally hand built
from the master himself.
From the master himself, Albert Borstein. Yeah, there's no other master but the master, King Albert. I think I should call him King Albert from now on.
Wow, that is quite a correct name to be a king.
Yeah, well, he is. Yeah.
So I'll bring up the Benoni next.
No, it's not Benoni. It's Boksburg.
I mean Boksburg. Sorry, my apologies.
Okay, close enough. There are only 2 pictures in existence of Boksburg Station, and in the old days of the Dutch South African railways. And based on those pictures and knowledge, he built Boksburg Station. There are 2 varieties, or variants, whatever you want to call it. But there you see Boksburg Station, the front side, and then the back side as well. There we go, past. So it's in the good old days when they were traveling along the line towards Springs.
Over here, I just love the little touch of the post box.
Yeah. It's got everything on there. It's got a little board on there as well when the trains are coming and going. All the little details. The aerials on the roof for the radio system. It's a stunning model. It's absolutely something different. And it's our cultural heritage, you know. It is absolutely stunning.
No, 2 great models.
Yeah.
Then I see that from your Facebook, you have been selling, promoting a lot of your N-gauge stuff. So
yeah,
just got a little for non-South African quickly, a little some stuff that you can get from Rinke.
Yeah, there's a lot of N-gauge, both analog and digital, and hundreds of wagons available. Well, you guys will most probably know it from Facebook, as I advertise. Sometimes put videos with it, which I have to do more often. but all stunning, proper quality stuff for all you guys who want to get into Engage.
So I've just put your webpage address there in case
Yeah,
anyone.
it's just. Yeah, well, I still have to load all this. It's just too much. I still have to load it all on the website.
If I remember, I will put up. I'll also put up a Facebook link to your shop.
Yeah, well, I'm going to download it on the shop anyway.
So. But,
And to all the relevant pages I'm on, I will put it on all the pages. Because the guys like it. The general feedback is good.
All right.
I know. Well,
thanks for another great show. I hope you all inspired everybody that has seen this show. And yeah, we'll see each other again in a month's time. And let me just say thank you for your time.
Inspiration with big capital letters from Carl, huh? Absolutely big capital letters. Yeah.
And definitely worth visiting if you are in the George area.
Oh yes. Give the guy a call. Go visit him.
And he will definitely welcome anybody into his house. So
yeah.
If you see his YouTube channel, he always seems to be showing his layout to somebody. So
he's a very busy man. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. All right, cool. Thank you, Rinke, and I'll see you
Pleasure,
again.
young man. Yeah, see you again. Enjoy the cold, huh?
Will do. Cheers, man.
Never sleep on me.
Cheers. Cheers, James. Good to see you again. I turn up like a bad penny. Yeah. Welcome to the shack, everybody. And enjoy the evening with us as we just have a look at a couple of products.
Yeah, well, first of all, we've got to mention the wine. And it's actually a Porter 6, which is available over here in a lot of different outlets. It's from Portugal, and it's a blend of 3 different grapes. I would say that it is a fantastic drinking wine. This is not a wine to wax lyrical about and to have all the wine buffs falling over themselves saying what an amazing thing it is. It is a nice wine. I like it, so therefore it's a good wine. And what I think it is it's easy to drink, and it doesn't make you work for what it's got. And what it has got is a nice blend of flavours that gives you some quite a lot as it travels over your palate. I like to think of it as perhaps a Wednesday evening wine, and I don't mean that's because today is Wednesday. I mean when you've had a bad day and you get home and you just need a glass of wine before you start killing children, this would fit the bill.
In Cape Town, we call Wednesday mini weekend because it's halfway in the week and you go out.
Yeah.
Because Friday is only 2 days away. And I would agree, you need a very good drinking wine for a Wednesday evening. You were saying earlier, before we started, that possibly just one glass. James, when it comes to wine, I have to say, I don't think there's a thing called one glass.
I've never understood the requirement for wine stoppers. I mean, what are they for?
Cheers, everybody. And
Cheers.
if you want to, most of the major supermarkets here stock this, and also some of the major wine outlets in this country.
Right, now,
Cheers.
if we finish the wine, oh please, not before we have another bottle. You've been building South African stuff, so tell me a little bit about it, Terry.
Well, what I've got here on the desk is some products produced by a company called Model Railroad Specialist.
Right.
They are part of the hobby shop in Plumstead in Cape Town, Perry and Wayne. And they produce these laser cut buildings. The kits come in all sorts of bits and pieces like this, and they build up into fantastic models. They have a range of about 15, 16 kits, from farmhouses to shops to stations to they do amazing. Let me just see if I can find it here for you, because this is something that is absolutely amazing. When you go down to Simonstown, there used to be a whale oil refinery. Okay, and I can remember as a kid the place stunk from the whale oil. Anyway, that building parts of that building still exist. It's now the scratch patch where you go and do precious stones as a kid. Wonderful play area and everything. It's just off the major road going from Glencairn into Simonstown. And there's that building. They had their own rail shunt into there years gone by. But that building could fit in anywhere in South Africa as an industrial building for your layout if you're building South African scenery.
So have they got any of the Cape Dutch type architecture?
They do. They've got a whole series. They've got the large farmhouse, the wine cellar, the farm manager's house. So there's the Cape Dutch farmhouse. I mean, that is iconic. You can go through the wine area in Paarl, Stellenbosch, Franschhoek, Pots of Constantia, and you will find buildings that look like that.
Well, that looks like Groot Constantia.
Yeah,
I mean, in my memory.
It is very similar to Groot Constantia. Actually, I think this is based on a building in Stellenbosch. One of the buildings. I don't know it offhand, but with that, you would. Let me just see if I've got it here, because they're absolutely fantastic. There's the farm manager's house that would go with that. Again, typical architecture. The two would be sort of alongside each other. And there's also, did I bring it with me here? There's the cellars, and that goes on the other side, making your horseshoe of buildings. You would have your avenue of oak trees and your vineyards all around. And in the background, you would have, which they do a range of, is the farm workers' cottage. This is one I built and mentioned it in our last clip. They are so easy to build. They build up brilliantly. I'll kind of bring this back in, but later on, James.
Yeah.
They then do a series of shops, which I'm going to show you that one. They do Fishhook Station. So if you want a good suburban station, even in the Cape, the station had the Cape architecture. I mean, this Fishhook Station's iconic.
Yeah.
Okay, but they then do a traditional. I think this is Fariesburg post office. Okay, building. You then got a small country shop, and these are all over. Anywhere where there's a railway line with a bridge. These are relics of the Boer War. These were blockhouses built by Kitchener. When he took over the British forces, used to fence in the Boer and make life really difficult. But it also kept and protected the bridges. They put a less than a platoon, I think it was about 16 men in something like that, and they would then guard a major railway bridge.
Now that looks fantastic and is in very good condition. Are the real ones that are left, have they been maintained, or are they, or would we be looking to do a fair bit of weathering and?
Well, yes, you would have to, but some of them are national monuments.
Right.
Okay, and on your way to Maatjiesfontein, on the national road, there's a bridge, a series of bridges over a river there, and there's one of them there, and it's in reasonably good nick. But they would be all over the place. I mean, those were the really big ones. There were some that were, nothing more than a dugout bunker, and with a bit of corrugated iron. You see, again, the corrugated iron is a big feature in colonial South Africa, and I'll bring that up later on as we go through all this. But yes, James, those things, and you see, if you are a war gamer modelling Boer War, this product would add itself to that. although this is done in 187, there's nothing stopping you really using it for 1 in 72. It's slightly out, but it's a pretty substantial model, so it fits in, you know.
Fantastic.
Okay. I mean, I just love some of the stuff, the imagination that is gone into tracking down these buildings. The kits go together absolutely fantastic. I mean, the cutting here on the laser kits, I mean, it is so clean. There is no, when I built the building, I didn't have to cut anything else away. It was all done, it came away, and it just comes together.
Fantastic.
I used a quick drying PVA wood glue, and that works. I mean, you can get Dulux rocket glue that you can use on this, but you know, good old wood glue, quick drying, quick setting wood glue works fantastic on these products.
So you've got the shop now, and you obviously know how to build these sorts of things.
Yeah.
So for somebody perhaps who's only done one or two, what would you say?
Let's put it on the basis of, if you've built an Airfix kit ever in your lifetime, you'll be able to build these.
Brilliant.
Okay, and the instructions, well, there aren't any. Okay, there's supposed to be a YouTube clip on how to build them, but these are just basic architectural buildings, 4 walls and a roof. Okay, and they
Let
go
me have a
together.
little look in there. Now, perhaps I think, because that is fantastic. You
Okay,
know, it's just that little attention to detail that I like. How did you do that?
What I did there is, obviously we glazed the windows, and then if you take off the roof, I put a false wall in there. But before I did that, I went online and I grabbed some photographs of some shop, racking and everything, and I stuck it on the back of that. So when you look in through the window, okay, with the light, it gives you that 3D effect, that there's depth and everything. Obviously, you know, as we go along, it would be good to produce some transfers that would actually do this. But this was my first attempt at one of these. I would do 1 or 2 things. I used their awning, okay. If it was for my model railway, I would get out a few bits of wire and some foil and create a far more realistic looking awning. But that awning is pretty good. It does the job, okay. Their corrugated iron roof that comes with it, it's laser cut. It just slips onto there, and there you are. You've got a very, very convincing looking shop. I've called it the Lekker Algemene Handelaar en Drankwinkel, which means general dealer and bottle store. I also went online and grabbed a couple of traditional South African adverts.
They're fantastic.
And just stuck them on the wall, because wherever you go, you will find these little shops in the little villages, or dorps as they're called.
Yeah.
DORPS. Dorp means village, dorps the plural. You would find shops like this everywhere.
Now, I take it that if we want to take it one stage further and actually put lighting or things like that in it, that it isn't an issue or a problem with something like that.
No, the only thing I would do if I was putting lighting in a building like this is where your joints are, okay, because that's where your lightings normally let you down. I normally cut a little bit of tin foil and stick them in the joints, just so that no light, if there is a crack, no light will come through the joint, because in real life, in your joints in a building, you don't get that. But that's what I do when I put some lighting in the building. Now, to enhance this building, I would use corrugated iron. That through Thunderbolt Models, we carry a range of products which we produce called Scenic City, where we make scale corrugated iron sheeting.
Wow.
Okay. And there it is. That is proper corrugated iron. You're not going to get in it. It's made out of pie dish foil.
Oh, you just disappointed me. I was hoping you were going to say platinum.
No. It's pie dish foil. I mean, if you want to, James, we can get gold, paper,
Gold leaf, yeah.
gold leaf paper, and I could most probably make it in a gold leaf, and you could spend a lot of money on your modelling.
Yeah, but we wouldn't need much because it would only be where it's rusting.
But just to show you how it works, on the farm cottage, where these farm cottages would either been thatched or they would have been corrugated on, instead of using the laser cut corrugated, I overlaid it with what we used.
Yeah, and I can tell you that really is 3D because the pieces of corrugated iron have been overlapped as they would be. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously this is finished. I would now weather this still with weathering powders, but that's for a later date to show you. Now we produce this in 00 actually, which is 1 in 72. But to use it in 1 in 87, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Yeah. We also produce 1 in 48 and 1 in 43 corrugated iron. Anything in South Africa, you will see corrugated iron everywhere, from shops, buildings, fencing, shacks, informal dwellings, you name it, corrugated iron is using.
Including that 4-star hotel we went to.
The one in Makiesfontein, it had a corrugated iron roof. So there we go. Okay. But yeah, and then if you are modelling and you want to take your modelling further, we carry another fantastic range. It's an embossed sheet, and we do brick in both 00 and O. And this is a chap in Greece, Dimitri makes this, and he's found an embossed wallpaper that has no plastic in it. And it takes the print beautifully, but it gives you that 3D effect. Now that's O gauge at the bottom, and that's 00 at the top. We do brick, we do a number of different types of brick sheets. We do stone. There's some stonework. Again, O at the top, 00 at the bottom. Some more brick. We do cobblestones, road surfaces in this stuff, and it's all the same paper, but each one gives you that feel that it's not just printed flat.
You really can see the difference between the different scales.
Yeah, but it does give you that, that 3D feel to it, instead of just that 2D which you get when a lot of these printed paper sheets come out. They look good, but there's no definition to them.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fantastic. I really can feel the texture. What I like about it is it's not shiny in the way that quite often the plastic corrugated type stuff or whatever you want, stippled is. It's pretty matte.
Yeah, it's very much matte, and it's not even satin. It's got a real matte feeling to it. So brilliant. It takes the weathering powders as well. So when you're wanting to weather into the corners and dirty it up and put your mud and everything on, it does all that.
So where you've got bridges and all those things with the arches and the shops and whatever underneath, you can just cut it up and use it for that.
Correct, and it's a magnificent product. Just to help, they do. There's the cobblestone road. Okay, because obviously, in the UK we have a lot of cobblestone road. There's a little bit in Cape Town. I don't know if there's anywhere else in South Africa, but in Cape Town there was a bit of cobbled road. Not much left. But yes, but for embutments,
look at that.
That's real railway looking.
Yeah.
Stonework, for embutments, bridge work.
Yeah.
Retaining walls. It's there. To use.
So if I just had I was looking at trying to produce, say, a raised rail. Or at the back of something, I can actually get sheets of this, which because it's just a flat thing, actually has the arches and all the rest of it.
Yes, we carry that. I haven't got it here. For some reason, I didn't bring one with.
What?
But there's a set of arches. There's a set of abutment corners that he does and printed on there. Because it's used for wargaming, he's got some Roman architecture that's been printed onto the sheet. So if you're wargaming in the Roman era, he's got the sheeting that goes with it. But
Hopefully he's got the actual slingshot that David used to slay Goliath.
well, he's Greek. I don't know if he knows that. Okay, anyway, I would say, James, that for tonight, I think we've got there. All I'd like to say is you can find all these products on our website on www.thunderboltmodels.com and look them up.
Fantastic. Now, a little bit more, because one glass is never enough.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.